Boom, viewers, subscribers, back again with these quick updates because trust. If it's not forwarded from Kingmixup, it's not credible, and you know, people, vloggers, news reporters, these remixers, and most importantly, dancehall fans has been asking me, King, what's up with Foota hype? What's the latest? Are there any updates? And I'm like, yeah. But y'all gotta wait. You see me, I said? And in waiting, I'm seeing no other outlets have produced anything new on this case. The only thing that I'm seeing is them remixing my material. You see me, I said, pertaining to this case more specifically and others. But with that being said, I'm going to lay out a new theory because the streets is talking, and you know my motto, we're in the street, we're not in the street. You see what I'm saying? But before we get into what the title says, I'm going to need y'all to hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell. Because I say get the latest in the dancehall news, musical reviews, and gossip. Just like the title says, did Foota hype snitch on Miller 9 to secure an S visa? S standing for snitch. To avoid taking the asylum route. And I know a lot of y'all is confused right now why I just said what I said. Trust. After I explain why I'm saying that, one will understand what may I talk about. You see me, I said. Also, I'm going to discuss the fears of his ex-wife being charged for marriage fraud. You see me, I said, similar to Mavado's snitch visa. You see me, so everything sort of ties up in one. So before I get into what the streets are saying about Foota hype and Miller 9 situation, let me first explain to you what an S visa is. Criminals who agree to take the deal are provided with S visa, which is a green card for an informant. S visa, often referred to as snitch visa, is an non-immigrant visa which allows travel to the U.S. for individuals who are witnesses, informants, or otherwise supplying information regarding criminal organization and whose presence in the U.S. is necessary for law enforcement to pursue investigations or prosecution. Now, immigration attorney Joan Pinnock told Jamaican tabloid that an S visa is nothing new to Jamaicans. And remember me tell you about Mavada, we'll talk about that later, and other Caribbean natives who have had encounters with the law in the U.S. And he said the typical Jamaicans that are involved in these S visa situations are usually in the States illegally, like Foota hype, and know a lot about what's going on with some heavy crimes. And on behalf of them, a law enforcement agency may submit an application for permanent residency, a green card, if they are satisfied with all of the snitching and convictions that they get. Now, I've always said that there is never a coincidence in a dancehall. I said there's never a coincidence, especially in dancehall, and streets is watching, streets is talking, ready for you to make your first mistake. And they're saying it's just suspicious that Foota hype got locked up December 14th, and 3 days later, Miller 9 gets grabbed by the boys, as you see above his arrest date. Trust, right now, a lot of people change them phone number pan Foota. Say a lot of people is afraid that Foota is running his mouth, which is nothing new. The only thing new is he's gonna benefit. Cause you know him just a run off him out and chat for free. You see me, I said, but now he's caught in a bind, and he doesn't want his behind to go back home to Jamaica, so he's willing to do anything it takes to stay. You see what I'm saying? Sort of like the Mavado thing, which I will explain in a little bit. But before we get to that, I have to say Miller 9 might have assisted law enforcement officers on his own, because you're doing all of these crimes and it up on social media, showing your locations, specifically being on the Viral King Live. Like the boys ain't watching them. You see what I'm saying? And now let's move on to his ex-wife, because you do know marriage fraud is a federal crime. You see what I'm saying? It's a federal crime, and I want y'all to remember the Mavado situation. We all know that Mavado, aka David Brooks, cooperated with the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security by snitching on the visa link, that got several people locked up from the U.S. government, cost people their jobs. It caused Bone to Killer and other artists to lose their visas. And Foota Hype knows all of that. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this S visa is not promoted by the government. They just want to deport y'all. But being that Foota is from Cassava Peace, and Cassava Peace is known to have snitches like Mavado, he knew he had that in his back pocket, or a get out of jail free card. You see what I'm saying? And from what I know, the lady that married Foota Hype is legit. She truly loved him, so don't believe the rumors that this was a business marriage. She was in love with Foota Hype, but she realized she was dating a boy, not a man, and at the same time he was abusive. He was cheap. He didn't want to work. He was lazy. He was sloppy. He never wanted beard. Wanna get the drip. So she found a new man and moved on. And now she has no choice to be by his side once again. This time as an ex-wife for moral support, because she don't want him to snitch on her or lie on her and make it seem like she was committing fraud. He's doing everything that he can do to stay out of jail. You see what I'm saying? Remember, this is street talk. Because trust, I'm pretty sure she has moved on. She found a new man. She looks happy. And he's just being a big baby because, well, he don't want to go back home. His side. And the reason why I said he's taking the S visa route is, remember Mavado's situation. Mavado snitched on a lot of people, and we see him flying back and forth to Jamaica with no problem. He may be still on the snitching program, to be honest with you, because I don't know when a snitch can quit. And the reason why I think Foota Hype is taking that route, because if he took the asylum right, he would never be allowed to go back to Jamaica. And, if you weigh the options, what would you do? Well, I ain't no rat, man. I ain't no snitch. So I would have just tell them to send me forward at my yard. He see me, I said, but Foota is not built like that, If he can't make it in America, he can't make it elsewhere. And that's just a shame, So, again, people, I'm just giving you that quick update that there are other scenarios. There are other routes that Foota Hype can take besides going the asylum route, because if he does that, he will never be allowed to enter Jamaica again. And if he takes the snitch route like Mavado, he shall be free, and he can travel back and forth, and etc., etc. So Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell, because around here so you get the latest in the dancehall news, music reviews, and gossip. Bless.